Okay, everybody, welcome to the Game Cafe. Tonight we're doing a review, and this review is for the one of the Wii U launch titles. Is for Ninja Gaiden 3: The Razor's Edge. We were supposed to do this particular review, a few weeks ago, but stuff happens, so I had to push it back, and now we're trying to get this done tonight. With me is Shadow Fox. Shadow Fox, go and introduce yourself.
What's going on, guys? I'm the Rogue Ninja of K9 Descent. I'm also the host of ShadowCasts YouTube channel. Check me out and you'll find other reviews there, particularly from Xbox games.
Alrighty. So, as I stated before, we're doing Ninja Gaiden 3: The Razor's Edge, and this game is I'm personally am a fan of the Ninja Gaiden series. It's been one of those staple series for me for a long time. And this game is kind of funny. You start the game off with our hero Ryu going through London, and one of the things about this game is basically you're going to locations. So when the game opens up, you're looking at a map and you're going to whatever that location is. So the first location you go to, and you've seen it in most of all the trailers, is London. And the thing is, you go through. You meet up with this masked person. He's going to be your main adversary, if you will. And the guy is talking like he a James Bond villain. That's the only thing I can compare it to. He's pretty much going on these monologues every time you see him. It's kind of funny sometimes when you interact with him, just because he goes onto this big diatribe in every sequence with him. And he actually sounds like a James Bond villain. I was waiting for him to stroke a cat. I mean, I was just waiting for him to just turn around in a chair and just stroke a cat. So he's one of the guys that you're having to deal with, and he invokes a curse on Ryu to where everybody that he's killed, all the lives that he's taken, is wrapped up in his right arm, which is his sword arm. And it looks kind of mangled and nasty. And from there, you got, I think it's 7 or 8 days. I can't remember if it's 7 or 8. I think it's 7. 7 days to pretty much save Ryu and, take him out and get the curse off of him. So that's the basic gist of the game, because it takes place over those amount of days. And every day is a different chapter. You do different objectives, and you go from day to day doing different things. The gameplay in it is just like Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. If you play both of those, then you pretty much are well aware of what you have to do in this game. I will say this, though. This game is rated M for mature, and it is bloody as hell.
Lots of blood.
I mean, limbs be flying. Matter of fact, some of the deaths in there are kind of... It gets to the point where it's kind of like God of War level deaths, where you just keep hacking at them and they're still trying to kill you. Which I'm like, dude, you would have died of blood loss. Stop. Just stop. You're dead already.
Cut both these two dudes. If you cut somebody both legs off, they'll still crawl towards you and try to kill you and things like that. It's really bloody. Really bloody.
It's really, really bloody, really, really gory. Some of it kind of funny after a while, because like I said, it gets to the point where it's just over the top ridiculous. And you go through, and just like the other games, you get your Ninpo, your magic, you unlock moves. You have you get your karma up, so you can buy new moves for your weapons, your sword, your weapons, your magic. And you get multiple weapons in this game, and I think I need to make sure that I let people know that, because there are 2 Ninja Gaiden 3s. There's the Razor's Edge, and then there is the original Ninja Gaiden 3. In the original Ninja Gaiden 3, you didn't get all those other weapons and all that other stuff. In Razor's Edge, you do. So you get the Falcon Talons, the lunar staff, the Kusarigami. You get the nunchucks, all that stuff that you got in Ninja Gaiden 2. They make a return in Razor's Edge, and you get using your karma, you get to buy upgrades and all of that. Now, the way I play it on the Wii U, and I don't know if you do this, Shadow. I usually play with the Pro controller and have my gamepad set up to the side so I can look at my moves. I don't know if you do that or not.
I did that a couple of times, but for the most part, I played with the gamepad almost all the way through.
Mhm.
And it's interesting because you'll be surprised how often you'll actually not even look at the screen and touch it to release an info instead of using I believe you hold one of the triggers and press like X or something like that. I forget which button it was, but
Yeah.
the alternate would be to hold one of the triggers as a modifier and then press another button to release the info. But instead of doing that, even though it can be quicker most of the time, you just feel like I need to press it because it's a button there. You press it and it does the info. It's kind of I never thought that I would be doing something like that often. You know, when that system came out, because I mean, everybody from the launch of this system is like, nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. You'll be surprised how often you end up touching the gamepad, playing this game. So, this necessarily, I wouldn't say it's necessarily mandatory to play this game. You can play this game with a pro controller very well. Like it's not, it's not something that you really need to do. But I was used to playing, I want to say, about a good 40% of this game on the gamepad, in gamepad mode, in off-screen play mode. So I was getting used to the controls via that, and so when I played on the TV, I still played with the gamepad. So I guess that's the majority of my time.
Oh, and to comment on what you said, when you do play on the gamepad, you do get used to it. Just like you said, with the whole Nimpo, I was doing it by the time I got to the second day, I had already got to the point when I do play on the gamepad where I know where everything is.
Yeah, all it is learning another controller. Like it's not whether the controls are tactile or they're clunky or anything like that. The controller was made was made by Nintendo. They don't really screw that up. As bulky as it looks, it's not. As heavy as it looks, it's not. You can play it fairly well. The controller I actually think probably should have some weight added to it is the Pro controller. It feels really light for some reason. But that's a review of the system and not the game. So
Yeah.
I digress.
Understandable. But yeah, the ways that you play in this game, and it's with the Pro controller or the gamepad, just pick your poison. Me personally, I can play with both of them. It doesn't really matter. I know that sometimes I like having my move set just set up to the side, especially if I'm like working on like a new weapon or something, and I'm not really familiar with that move set that goes with that weapon. Then yeah, I usually have it set up on the side. So, and another thing about this game, language is a
Yeah.
these guys. Like, wow, dude. Like, they yell some of the oddest cuss words at some of the oddest times. Like, dude, you got your arms cut off and you still saying fuck me.
Yeah.
You have no arms.
Also slightly suggestive towards the beginning of the game too. After a couple of missions, you start playing as Ayane, so a tad bit suggestive. So,
matter of fact, that's a great segue. You want to talk about the Ayane missions?
They're full of blood also, but they're really suggestive sometimes. And this Ayane plays like really fast, just like you would expect if you played any of the Dead or Alive. And I think she was on Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 on the PS3, I believe.
That sounds right.
Which was their port of Ninja Gaiden 2, and Ayane was her exclusive character on there, and yeah, she played lightning fast on that game too. So basically, almost all her kills end in a pool of blood or an explosion of blood from her little explosive dart thing. So it's kind of cool, kind of interesting, and her combos are actually cool because she does a lot of flipping around and stuff. She's real agile. So, but like they would do in any game, if you move real fast and you're looking kind of devastating, even though it takes you a lot of hits to kill people, you aren't necessarily a bullet sponge. Like you get hit a couple of times and you're probably going to be dead. So um, if you're a beginner to the series, do not attempt to play this game on average difficulty. Play it on beginner and play with Ryu and stick with him until you at least beat the game. Then decide to play with other people. Once you have to play with Ayane, you're kind of stuck with her, but you're not going to be that good with her until you play with her a lot.
I completely agree. As because I tell people that all the time. Like, this is not, you're going to die a lot in this game. Ninja Gaiden games are not easy.
And they're not meant to be. What you're supposed to do when you play this game, you're supposed to play it on the hardest difficulty available at the time. Then attempt to beat it and just slog through it. And get your ass whooped until you learn how to play it. And then when you learn how to play it, then it doesn't matter when you beat the game that there's a higher difficulty. You still know what to do. So it's not. It's literally your fault if you die. So just one of those things.
Yeah, and a good idea is, especially if you've never played a Ninja Gaiden game, you do need to start out on the lowest setting so you can understand the move set, how things work. Because even on the easier settings, you'll still get killed.
Oh yeah.
They do not. They are not holding your hand.
Yeah, you kind of
dead.
You need to pay attention to your surroundings too, because what I mentioned before about how a limitless person will crawl towards you. Well, they'll crawl towards you with a grenade in their hand, and they say, "Fuck you, I'm taking you with me," and they'll kill you with basically one or two hits. So you kind of have to be real cognitive of everything that's going on around you. Like if you cut somebody up and you don't actually execute them or kill them, or they're like not dead laying on the ground, that means they're not completely dead and they could get an instant kill on you. So you gotta watch everything that you're doing, even though everything's going so fast and body parts are flying everywhere. You have to like really pay attention, and I think that's a cool little detail that they added to the third version of this game. And with all the blood going everywhere, it's really confusing, which actually makes it. I think it's kind of smart, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, because you will get surrounded at points in the game, and it'll feel like you've been fighting like a lot of dudes. But if you're not paying attention, somebody you hacked up will grab you from behind. So yeah, you do need to pay attention at all times. You kind of have to actually know your surroundings a little bit, because there's been a couple times where I've died off of the simple fact that I thought I was doing good, but I was getting hit by an archer, and a dude grabbed me and blew me up. Yep. I thought he was dead.
Well, that actually that kind of spoils the technique of the game, because there's supposed to be a perceived combat flow of the game, and how that works is you build up a basic combo and you start getting a combo meter together, and you can either build up a combo for the highest amount of hits you can get without being hit yourself, and that's how you get karma points. Or one of the ways to get karma points, and basically the only way to beat this game on the hardest difficulty, is to master a technique called Still on Bone. There's an obliteration technique too, but it's almost useless once you learn how to do Still on Bone. If you do Still on Bone, you can literally like clear a screen full of people. Like you just go from person to person to person, and there's just blood everywhere. And once you figure that out, you're basically, I mean, you could probably clear every map in the game, with the exception of like some of the challenges. You kind of have to get hit because they never give you a perfect situation. But every one of the situations in the story mode, you probably could get like S ranks on all of the stages by mastering that. And that takes timing, and you have to know when people are about to die or they're not all the way dead and things like that. And you have to know exactly what to do, how far away they are, and if they're about to attack you, so you can counter them. So that's one of the things that it gets real. It can get real deep if you want it to. So again, a mature rated game.
Yeah, because this game does, and this is one of the things that Tecmo does all the time when they do a game. They make it look like a hack and slash, but yeah, go in there button mashing if you want to.
Nah, you're not gonna win by button mashing.
You're not gonna make it through. You're not gonna make it past the mid-level boss on the first stage. We'll put it to you like that. You won't make it past the mid-level boss on the first level if you're going in there button mashing. And that's another thing that I liked about this game: mid stage bosses. I guess sometimes I'm a glutton for punishment, so I don't mind mid stage boss every now and again. So, and some of the mid stage bosses on this game are ridiculous. Like one of them is like you're fighting on the side of a jet or side of a what is it, F-22.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
That's a cool little scene, actually.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. There's another one where you got to take out. You're actually getting hit with wave after wave after wave, and then you have to run across a bridge. Bridge explodes. You have to time it, jump, climb up. Yeah, it's a gauntlet that makes no sense, but it's fun once you figure out how to do it. And you might die a couple times. I think I died like 5 times trying to do it, but once I did it, I can do it from now on now. So it's one of those things. Like a lot of the stuff in the game is a learning experience, and I'm not trying to discourage anybody from it, but it is one of those games where they're not gonna hold your hand and they're gonna punish you for mistakes.
And in a way, I would say this game is old school. I would say it really does bring back the spirit of the original Ninja Gaiden on the NES. Because that game was that whole series was impossible. Like Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3 were obviously far easier. However, they were not necessarily as forgiving as some other games, and definitely not any of the other games that are out today that are mature and so-called hardcore.
Yeah.
This is a hardcore game.
Yeah.
If you can beat this game on medium or higher difficulty, you are squared away. I think you can consider yourself a gamer.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine with anything because like we said, this you will die. I'm like, if you get mad because you die in a game, you probably don't want to play this.
Yeah,
you're gonna die alive.
Either that or you're one of those master players and you want to S rank everything. But I mean, You're not going to S rank it if you don't know how the system works. So expect to die.
Yeah, expect to die. I mean, and to me, it's fine because that's how I learn. So that's one of those things that I like doing. Now there is in this game, matter of fact, as soon as you beat a level or you beat a day, you can go back and play what they call the challenge mode. Now on the we're talking about the Wii U version. On the Wii U version, they actually let it where you could play as either Ayane, Kasumi, or Momiji from Dragon Sword. I like playing as Momiji personally. I just like her. She has a Naginata, and it has excellent reach, and she's fast. So I actually like playing with her. I have tried playing with Kasumi, but I got to learn her moveset because her moveset is kind of a mix between Dead or Alive and her actually using that her Kadachi more than she does in Dead or Alive. So it's not hard to use her, but you can overshoot stuff because she's faster than Ayane. So if you have trouble controlling Ayane, trying to control Kasumi is going to be a chore if you can't control Ayane because Kasumi's faster. And her attack, her moveset is actually pretty good, but it does take a while to get control over and master. Me personally, I like going through with Momiji because Momiji, she's a little bit easier to use, I feel, and her weapon has a lot of reach, so you don't have to get right up close on people. You can actually time your moves out and do a better job. The only thing that she can't do that well is her little stealth moves and stuff like that, because there are sections where you have to use stealth. We have to sneak up behind somebody using ninja invisibility and take them out like that. And trying to do that stuff with Momiji sometimes is kind of hard to do because of how her weapon is. So you might get seen by 2 or 3 people even though you just took out 2. They did put multiplayer into this game. And here's where I kind of get a little miffed at stuff in this current generation of games and the last generation of gaming. Not, in my opinion, not everything needs to have multiplayer tacked on. This is obviously a one-player action game. I mean, that's what the other ones in this series were. They were one-player action games. To tack on a multiplayer just because, and the multiplayer to me is it's not very fun. It's you're basically being a ninja, but everything, all the ninja costumes look the same. I only played it like twice. Well, not twice. Actually, I played it more than that. But it's one of those situations where I didn't feel like the actual the multiplayer aspect itself was actually warranted because it was just so drab. I mean, it felt like it was actually just thrown onto the game just because, and not actually something that you would actually find useful as far as like actually the action that they thought and put time into for the multiplayer. Me personally, I thought it would have been better if they would have had like different missions that actually, and you got to play with a lot more characters. Maybe like Ryu's dad or a couple of the characters from 1 and 2, but they didn't really do that, so it kind of felt rushed and just tacked onto the game. And me personally, I just couldn't get into that. I still play this game to this day. Matter of fact, I'm on my like third playthrough of it, and it's one of those games where I don't really mess with the multiplayer just because I don't feel like it fits the game. I mean, I don't feel like it was one of the things that this game actually needed.
Yeah, to me, I felt that if there was going to be multiplayer in this game, it should be just co-op, or it should be basically just high score. So you have a leaderboard. There's a leaderboard on there, but to me, I felt that's where the focus should have been, because I mean you're already graded for scores in the game anyway. Even on the first game, which wasn't online at all on the Xbox or whatever, it still had the leaderboard settings until the later versions came out or whatever. And that you can see the leaderboards on here, but you can tell it's clearly not focused. And the online mode, it's like you have to re-earn all the power-ups and all the combos that you earn throughout the game after you beat it. And it's kind of, I don't know, it just feels like a step back, like you had to start all over again just because you're playing with other people. And people online aren't necessarily friendly. If you go into a match and there's more than one person there, basically if it's a group of 4 people in the entire lobby for you to play, expect all 3 of them to turn on you. That tended to be my experience with the situation there. So multiple times actually. But I did start to see, once I started playing the game more and more, I did start to see new locales and things like that. I think it was a total of like maybe 6 or 7 different areas you could play in, and in those different areas there were different areas. So you could play the dojo part. There were like different parts of the dojo that you could play on, and there were different parts of say like there's midway through the game there's this little jungle area. There's different parts of the jungle area you could play multiplayer also. So it's just, you know, it's a couple of different things there, but I wouldn't, for anybody to go venture out on there, I wouldn't recommend doing it until you get really proficient at the game and there's just nothing else for you to do.
Yeah, I just thought that it was one of those situations where I'm just like, this cannot. It felt like they had they didn't really have a plan for it. It was just, here people been saying they want multiplayer, let's just throw it in, and I hate that. I hate that in games.
Don't like tacked on multiplayer. That doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I'm like, just keep the game. There's nothing wrong with having the game one player, or if you're gonna do it like you said, have it local co-op, or hell, even online co-op. But don't do like multiplayer, like arena type stuff. It was clearly no thought done into it. So me personally, I avoided like the plague. So the few times I got in it, I just like, I wasn't having fun, and I just avoided it because I felt like it wasn't done properly. So that's my feelings on that. Let's see, did I miss anything? I talked about the the extra characters, the challenges, multiplayer. It sucks.
We talked about the controller, so you can use the Pro controller or the Wii U gamepad. Either or works fine. The game does support off TV play, so this is definitely one of those games where, especially when you're a fan of trying to get a higher ranking in the level, and you're replaying the levels and stuff with the different characters and all that, trying to up your stats. That's something you could do perfectly without thinking about it while watching a football game or something like that. You don't take up the TV or anything like that. So it's a perfect pick up and play game. Like you can just pick it up and start playing it while you're doing something else. So,
and I also want to add on that, like each of the chapters or each of the days are to the point. So you can't just do, like, say if you just want to play day 2, you can just play day 2, and once you're done, you put it down.
Yep.
And you're good. So it's not one of those situations where you have to play it or you're gonna forget everything. They give you a little section recap while the game is loading for the new chapter or whatever. So it's one of those games you can actually do that too, and it's really not that bad. They also do have I forgot the update. I think it's update 1.3 where they give you like different costumes, and you can purchase the rest of the costumes via Karma in game. I think it's like 5 in total, I think.
Yeah, I didn't even really see the extra stuff that you could buy in the eShop. I never really looked.
Oh no, it's actually in the game. Like when you go on your Karma screen.
Oh, that's right. You can go and buy from the. Okay.
Yeah, you buy it in the game. Like it's right up under like your move sets or whatever. For instance, like the one for Ryu is right up under the Nimpo. When you get to like level 2 Nimpo, you'll see the thing open up for I forgot what the name of it's the one I'm using now. The one where he just has like the mask on without the top part of it, and he just has the pants with the shurikens in it. So that's where you see it. You'll see it like in game, so you can buy it with in-game Karma. So, and I think it's like, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like 4 or 5 in total.
You're talking about the different costumes. Yeah, I think I unlocked all of them. I don't know about Ryu, but I think I unlocked them for all the girls because they had what's her name? Momiji. Momiji. She's got the police outfit, and Ayane has her original outfit from Dead or Alive in there. The Nocturnal Butterfly, I guess it was the name of her. Yeah, so they have it's a couple of different outfits in there. Yeah, I unlocked a couple of them, but I don't really recall doing it for Ryu.
Yeah, because the Ryu is the original. It's the original blue from the very first NES one. It's the one from I want to say it's the Falcon one from 2, from that one that they did online.
Yeah.
From Ninja Gaiden 2, and it's that other one. I think it's one more. Other than that, but yeah, it's just those costumes. But if you're into stuff like that,
yeah.
So now we come to the rating system. Now, the way we rate games here at the Game Cafe, we do either full price, bargain bin, GameFly, or fuck this game. So, Shadow, what do you give it?
I'm gonna say full price, and the reason why I'm gonna say full price is because the game's already had multiple price drops. I think the most you could pay for it now is like $20.
Yeah.
So this game is really good. It's got free DLC. Like you can't really beat it. And since it's published by Nintendo, you get credit for it on the eShop, so you get some extra points and things like that. So, I can't really knock it at all. Like you can't really. It's not often that you can get a full price Nintendo published game in less than 2 years for $20. It's not often you can do that. And while it isn't technically a Nintendo game, it is published by them, and it goes through their eShop and Club Nintendo stuff. So you get all the benefits of buying a Nintendo game, a first party game. So And with that being said, I mean it's fucking fun to play. If you like playing, like not necessarily hack and slash, if you like playing old school arcade games or old school beat 'em ups and things like that, and you really like a challenge, this will definitely give it to you. And you can always practice with different characters and learn different move sets. I mean, there's a million different combos you can do with this dude, with Ryu alone. So with extra characters, all the different combos and all the different techniques you can use. And I mean, in this game you can stack combos, so you can mix and match combos. If there's like a 3-hit combo, you can mix it and make it an opener to a 7-hit combo. So it's all kind of different things that you could do to learn different ways to play the game. And I mean, I recommend it wholeheartedly.
All right, me personally, I'm gonna have to say full price. So
Yeah,
it's a full price for me. But I will say this: if you're one of those people that you're kind of on the fence about it, you want like a good action game to play. That's because like you said, right now it's cheap. You can get it for like $20. So I would say get this one. But I will warn you, like I said before, if you can't take being frustrated at a game, you're probably not gonna like it too much, because you got to learn how to play the game, and you're gonna get killed a lot.
Oh yeah,
that's just how you learn. So yeah, so like I said, it's a good game, but you might want to start out. Don't try to be all gung ho and I'm gonna beat it on the hardest set. No, it doesn't work like that. You might want to play it on an easier level till you get yourself acclimated, then go up. Because like I said, it's a whole lot of fun. And once you start getting the flow of combat down, you'll be pulling off combos and moves left and right, not even thinking about it.
Oh yeah. For those interested, right now, Razor's Edge is going for $15.46 on Amazon, brand new. So
there you go.
That's a pretty good deal. And when you find something like that, and GameStop isn't really too far off from that same price, you got a real deal on the game here. So
yeah, so that shouldn't hurt the financial portfolio, as I like to call it. So that's a pretty good price. And like I said, I got mine at launch, and I've been playing it ever since. I haven't traded it in yet. I enjoyed the hell out of this game. So, like I said, it's full price for me, and I would guess anybody else who wants to play it or are a fan of action games, you should give it a try. So, Shadow, you got anything else you want to add?
The last little bit is, okay, so this game was at one point in time was a Wii U exclusive. It was a time exclusive, and Tecmo decided that they were going to port it to PS3 and 360 like a year later or something like that. Well, the main difference for this game being out was everybody wanted to see, hey, what can Wii U do graphically or things like that. And there were a couple of comparisons done by a couple of people, Digital Foundry and a couple of the other sites and things like that. And they seem to be downplaying the fact that this system obviously has the horsepower to do whatever any of the old systems were doing. So they say things like, oh, the frame rate is down and things like that, and they completely negate the fact that this system is outputting to a different screen. No matter what's on it, it's putting extra pixels on the gamepad, period. In addition to everything else that's going on the screen. And the frames, whether they skip or not, they are full frames. There's no screen tearing. If you play the 360 version, it looks like you're watching two pieces of film being flipped in the game in front of a projector. The PlayStation 3 version of Ninja Gaiden 3 was kind of similar, and I find it odd that Digital Foundry finally got the time where they got the chance to compare this game to the Razor's Edge version of the game that finally came out after the fact for 360 and PS3, and they haven't done a comparison. I kind of think it probably went in Wii U's favor, because everything about those games catered to that system particularly. So I'm pretty sure it probably ran way better. there's footage of them out there, and obviously you can't really tell 100% on YouTube because YouTube isn't the same frame rate as the game itself. But there's more effects. The lighting effects are definitely brighter. Shadows and the lack thereof sometimes, depending on which version of the game you're playing, and like textures are like extra muddy in some cases, particularly on the 360 and PS3. The PS3 not all the time, but definitely on the 360 it is. Like it looks at some points like they're pixelated beyond compare. So, for those people that kind of think that the Wii U is in this weird little middle ground between the 7th generation and the 8th generation, please stop. The Wii U started the 8th generation. Okay, this system is doing all kind of extra work and still running games from last generation with really no sweat. The only time that you see the game bogged down is when they intentionally bog the game down and put a character or stories high in front of you to fight. When things like that happen, it's a wonder that the frame rates aren't in the teens on both of the other platforms, even with all the things that they did to avoid actually drawing the whole frame like they are on the Wii U. So it is what it is. For those people that don't understand those kind of things and they think that nothing's going on behind the scenes, things are going on behind the scenes, and the system is doing extra work. So. Yeah, it's a graphically intensive game, and Wii U handles it pretty well. There are some frame rate drops here and there, but like I said, they're more intentional than anything else because the game is designed to be that way. So, with that being said, the game's graphics are pretty damn good. There's lots of blood everywhere, and it stays on the ground for quite a bit. So, I like it.
And I have to add this one thing. If you don't think this game is fun, Chapter 3, Big Tyrannosaurus Rex. Enjoy that.
yeah. Good luck with the T-Rex.
Yeah, have fun with the T-Rex. And on that note, Shadow, why don't you give your outro?
All right. I'm sorry, but I've been wanting to do this review for a long time because this is a really fun game. But yeah, guys, this is another review from your boy ShadowFox and ShadowCasts. Catch me on YouTube as ShadowFox Infinite, also known as the real ShadowFox. You'll see me around on Google or insert form here in one way or form or the other. So I'll have content at some point. Right about now, I'm doing a lot of other things, so I'll get around to it whenever I do, and hopefully you guys will follow me again once I get it back up there. But as I always say, do you play games to have fun or to impress other people? Hopefully not to impress other people.
All right, and it's me, your boy Jay, owner and operator of the Game Cafe. Hope you enjoyed this review. I plan on doing more reviews in the future. I know we need to do that Killer Instinct one too, man.
Yes,
we do need to do a Killer Instinct one. So be on. A matter of fact, we might do that one next. So
the inner fanboy in me cannot wait. Well, maybe we should wait, cause.
Oh yeah, that is right. We do need to. Yeah, we do need to wait.
We'll probably hold off on that one for a while because it's coming down the pipe.
Yeah, there's something coming and there's a couple of characters that I've been waiting for. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait on that one. But when they come out, we're doing that one. So
yes.
Yeah, but I plan on doing more gameplay reviews. Y'all know me; I like doing gameplay reviews and little let's plays. I plan on doing a couple more let's plays of a couple more games, probably this weekend sometime. So be on the lookout for that on my channel. There is going to be an episode on Tuesday. Got to wrap up the evening with, and we're doing the evening with Microsoft. So if you like the first two we did, the evening with Sony and the evening with Nintendo from this past week, we're going to be wrapping up the E3 shows with evening with Microsoft. So be on the lookout for that Tuesday, and I will see you guys then. Y'all have a lovely evening.
We tried to find this Ishigami, who you claim was running the op. No one knows where he is.
But the group was calling for Hayabusa back in London.
You're not the UN.